Hello everyone, welcome back to Elohim Eternal. Okay. So I made those minor changes I did and learned that new ability with Joshua. Let's see if we can do this boss again. And now that we know we can't do anything on this phase, let's just have everyone guard. You know, I kind of wonder if this is going to be a mechanic moving forward, not just a story thing. Like, are we going to encounter armored enemies that, Bayos has to, like, spend a turn to remove the shield? So I gotta say, that is some really good pixel art on that thing's overworld spray. I don't know if that's, like, an original sprite or if it's, like, from a pack or something, but it looks really nice. Okay, so we know your weaknesses right off the bat. Thunder and lightning, or thunder and light. This already feels more doable. Now we're doing, like, pretty decent damage on both of their turns. Ah, you're beating him up a lot, though. You know, you don't do as much damage. Use a red item, Chris. If I really wanted to min-max this, I could have put those boots on Joshua as well, just so he was doing more damage, but it should be fine. You know, does this work on bosses? Might as well check. It does! I did not expect that to happen. And that does decent damage regardless. Wait, that enraged you. Probably because you got to... Actually, no, it probably wasn't the ability. It's probably because you're past half health now. Oh, you can just spam that. You know what? Wait. Joshua is gonna get that ability off before your turn ends. Yeah, so, and then we'll do this to heal both of them at once. That was a really good first boss. Oh my god. I like how he's, like, just strong enough that you're probably going to lose, which encourages you to, like, think it through. Like, now I have the expectation that most bosses I probably will not beat on my first try. Like, I'll probably die, then have to, like, regroup and maybe think over my loadout a little bit. And I think that's a really smart way to design a boss in an RPG. Especially when you let the player just jump right back into the fight after they reordered their stuff, which this game kind of does. I still have to go through the cutscene this time, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that was an incredible first fight. We did it. Well done, you fought well. Why aren't you a judge? I ask myself that question every day. We work well together. It must be the Jehudan blood in you. So I'm only one of you when it suits you. What was that ability you used? Judges revolt. It's divine magia. It's highly effective against Espadas, but it won't do anything to hurt the Shadim. That could prove useful in case we run into any more Shadim with Espadas. We most definitely will. Here, take my Chrysalis and try it out yourself next time we're faced with an Espada. Are you sure? So I was right. This is going to be a mechanic. I wouldn't offer it if I wasn't absolutely positive. Thank you. Now then, let's find ourselves a place to rest for the night. Agreed. We got a new sword there. Lowers divine power. Able to deflect vision and behavior ailments. That sounds cool. I'm actually going to put this on. Yeah, because at this point in the game, we're using a lot of elemental power, too, with him. Well, the game wanted me to give it to you, so... Yeah, there we are. It lowers my own physical defense. That's interesting. Do you need any help? I'm fine. There's no shame in accepting help. You won't always be there with me, Beos. I need to learn how to do this on my own. Fair enough. That looked difficult. I'd rather fight that Shadim again. You say you spoke to those captured Canaanites. What makes you think they aren't lying to you? I don't think they're interested in lying to me. They have nothing to gain from it. You don't know that for sure. Maybe they want to gain your trust so they can turn on you later. The Canaanites seek to destroy us. Maybe before, but I don't believe that's the case anymore. Careful, that sounds dangerously close to treason. Perhaps, but that girl was, that was with them. What about her? Her name is Ruthia. She's not like the other Canaanites. Sounds like you're drawn but to her. She says her mother is from the other planet, the place we call Sheol, where we think the dead go to be with Hosanna's chosen people. So she's not fully Canaanite. She claims her mother is one of Hosanna's chosen people. She could be lying. She called that planet Kenoma. The girl Ruthia is half Canaanite. She is fascinating, proud too, and strong. And yet I sense a kindness in her. She wants only the best for her people. For all people. You're quite taken with this Ruthia. You want to save her. If I can, yes. I think I have much to learn from her. You've just uttered blasphemy. Whoever heard of an Indonite judge wanting to save a Canaanite woman? Half Canaanite. For all we know, she could be half the Hosanna's chosen. What could you possibly learn from her? about this world, about life and death. I have studied my entire life, but in one conversation this woman has changed my perspective. She has made me question everything I know. She made me see that whatever I do, I do know is very little. What does it matter? Our lives are devoted to the cosmic creators. We do their will. That is the purpose of our lives. And they will choose the moment we die. Do you never question? I question all the time. I want to know more about death, as morbid as that may sound. Ever since my mother died in the battle at Mount Sinai, I vowed to find a way to Sheol, or Kanoma, whatever it's called. I thought if I found a way to Sheol, I might see my mother again. You clearly miss her a lot. Deeply, profoundly. You would have liked her, Joshua. She was a fearless judge. Though what I call fearless, some might call stubborn. You think I'm stubborn? Most people in your position would have quit the army after losing a limb. You, on the other hand, refused to back down. Just like her. What was her name? Rahab. A good Jehudan name. I'm sure wherever she is watching over you. I appreciate the sentiment, Joshua, but I don't know if I can believe that anymore. What's the alternative? That she no longer exists. That when she died, everything she was is now gone. She is nothing now, and one day we will be nothing too. That was a really good first area. Well, here we go. Sidon. We finally made it to Sidon. Oh, I love RPG towns that look like this. Now we need to find Balaam. Any ideas for where to start? I have no clue what the man looks like. Maybe we should ask around first. Good idea. Let's meet here again in a couple hours. Hours? Wait, how much time do we have left? What? Balaam? I think I know of someone by that name. He wears a red robe. Used to be a prophet of some sort. Okay. That's all you get. Kitty! Oh, wait a second. Wait, a heart-to-heart by yourself? Wait. Oh, you are still with me. Okay. The cutscene didn't make it feel that way? Maybe remove, like, one line there, I don't know. Dear sister, I know you've been asking for Mother's recipe on her famous spiced, taliha. Before she passed away, Mother entrusted her recipe to me, and I'm now sharing it with you. Make this dish for your husband, and I guarantee he will dote on you as if you were a queen or a goddess. Olive oil, garlic, paprika, hot paprika, cumin, tomato, water. Cook the fish in the spiced and herbed sauce and enjoy your meal. Is this a real recipe? Well, okay, some of these ingredients aren't real, but, like, you can easily substitute them for things in real life. I love finding recipes in video games. Someone remind me to make this in real life at some point. I like a good fish dish. That does sound delicious. I might have to bring this recipe to Ilana. Ah, Sidon. Just as I remembered it as a child. Did your parents have a house here in Sidon? Oh no. My mother used to come here and she would bring my brother and I with her. She was the type of judge that would travel from place to place on different duties that were assigned to her. Occasionally she'd bring us too. So you've traveled the world. Most of it, yes. She wanted my brother and I to experience as much as I did as we could. and because we did it with her, we were considered safe. What kind of judge was she that she had to travel so much? I'm not sure. My father commanded soldiers and other judges. He was the strategic thinker in the family. But my mother would often go off on her own. It was as if she was sent on secret missions on behalf of the Indonite judges. Secret missions. The more I hear about your mother, the more I respect her. I told you, you would have admired her. What about you? Did you travel much? Hardly. My father wanted me home with my studies, but studying always bored me. I wanted to see more of the world, and I wanted to join him in battles against the Canaanites. I think a part of him wanted me to be home, where it was safe. We used to have soldiers stationed at our villa. Sounds like he loved you and your mother quite a lot. He loved us, yes, but he was also overly protective. I doubt he went on secret missions like your mother did. My mother was a handful. We could barely keep up with her. Did she ever tell you what those secret missions were? Never. By Sheol, I don't even think my father knew. Oh yes, I know Balaam. He's handsome for a man his age, quite distinguished. But he has a fierce look on him. He tends to keep to himself. What the? Okay, that's funny. I like that a lot. Hide it behind trees. Oh my god, there's a bunch back here too. It's too damn hot in Sidon. Sometimes I wish I lived in Hebron, where the weather is colder. Then again, I'm not sure I'd want to live so close to the Urgarate border. At least in Sidon, we are far away from the Canaanite territory. Oh, I know the judges say all the Canaanites have been destroyed, but you don't see any Indonites settling in Ugarit now, do you? It's all a wasteland now. Who could live there? I have the freshest food available on the Sidon Strip. Our fish is harvested every morning from the Reed River, and we grow our vegetables in our own backyard. Unlike those other farmlands, we do our own planting, growing, and harvesting. Ours is run by our sons and daughters. We sell white snappers and taliha straight from the Reed River. We also grow grapes, potatoes, carrots, and apples. If you buy 2 tahilas, we give you a mina of potatoes for free. What, you don't eat? Of course you're looking to buy. Look, I never do this, but take a free sample. Cook it, eat it, and then I'll see you again when you crave more. White snapper. Oh. Okay. Like, cook it and eat it. Does that imply this game is like a cooking system? I love a good cooking minigame. Hosanna, the Ancient of Days. The Alpha and Omega knows all, and he is all. It was through Hosanna that exists itself came into being. Or that existence itself came into being. Hosanna is infinite. Through the physical manifestation of Hosanna is no more after the sacrifice to destroy Ahix. Hosanna lives on in the planets, the stars, in Rook and in Crystallos. Anything and everything is Hosanna because Hosanna created it. There is no before Hosanna, and there will be no after. All the world and its inhabitants may pass away, even the kingdom of heaven, but Hosanna will always be. The worlds in the kingdom of heaven await the day of the Lord, when Hosanna will be manifested in the physical realm. I would sacrifice all only to catch a glimpse of Hosanna. When the day of the Lord finally arrives, I hope to be standing with him. You mean Balaam the prophet. He lives here all right. Strange man, mutters to himself a lot. Speaks as though Adam and Eve are right next to him, and he is having a conversation with them. Okay. Sidon plan. This old plan shows Sidon as it once was. It was just a couple of houses in a large expanse of farmland. Eventually the town expanded, building near the Reed River. Before it was a bustling town with a flourishing marketplace, it was quite a farmland housing only a handful of families. People from all over Iden come to Sedone for our fish. Because we're so close to the Reed River, the fish is always fresh, but be careful. As close as we are to the Reed River, we're also just as close to the Dead Sea, and that swamp has nothing but poison and ruin. Once there was a seller here in Sedone that sold poisoned fish from the Dead Sea. It sickened a whole family, and one of the family members even tragically died. Only buy from someone who you can trust, like myself. We have the finest stock in all of Iden, let alone Sedone. Oh! I like how the game gets a little silly with those placements sometimes. I have no reason to head down to the sewers. Okay, so that means it's going to be a dungeon later. I see Balaam practically every day. He's always in the sewer. I don't know what he does down there, but he sometimes goes in the morning and doesn't come out till late in the evening. I've gotten a lot of information on Balaam. I should report back to Beos and see what he's found out. That's a special chest up there. Hold on. Hiding it in the corner where your UI element is typically obscuring it is kind of clever. Okay, cool. That's a good item. This is a very nice town. Like, it's very dense, but it's also large enough that it implies that it's like a massive city, you know? Balaam sounds like an odd fellow, and we've seen no trace of him at all. We shouldn't give up yet. Let's go over what we found from the townspeople. Is that not him? He fits the description. Certainly looks like any prophet I've seen. What do you think you're doing? Going to talk to him, obviously. Oh, what are you going to say? Hi, Balaam. We've been sent by the judges. What do you know about infernos? Of course I'm not going to say that. Don't be ridiculous. Exactly my point. What do you propose we do? We follow him. He was a prophet, which means he must have a place where he conducts his research and study. He's no longer a prophet. Maybe not officially, but the thirst for knowledge is never quite quenched. Trust me on that one. I've trusted you before. So trust me again. All we have to do is keep a safe distance and watch what he does. Come on, before we lose him. Why are we being so cautious around him? I feel like we could just talk to him. Went down to the sewers. Then that's where we need to go too. Agreed. But we should check our gear and conscience before heading inside. There's no telling what we'll find. You suspect trouble? From Balaam, not necessarily, but likewise we'll run into Shadim. Understood. Let's not waste any more time. Okay, so we do have a sewer dungeon coming up. Is there more stuff available at the shops? Not yet. But you're telling me the darkness bat isn't weak to light? Okay. Oh, you're weak to lightning. And what about fire? You're weak to fire. Awesome. Oh, I want a heart-to-heart in the sewers. For continued purity. The treatment of wastewater is paramount to the continued purity of the End Knights of Sidon and its visitors. Petrific crystallos shall be installed within purity statues that are spaced 5 to 10 cubits apart, and no more or less. The crystallos shall be replaced quarterly, at the very beginning of each quarter. Any damage sustained in the process of replacing beatific crystallos will be borne by the people or persons conducting the replacement. Beatific crystallos change the way we build Indonite towns and cities. Without them, life would be that much harder. How do you write interesting lore for a sewer area? That was cool. Oh, that's a fun design. Both of them are, actually. Oh my god. I'm gonna spend your turn doing this. We got 10 of them. It's 2 enemies. Rounding. That's not the craziest heal. Oh, you got nothing against these guys. This might just be Pokemon brain, but I find it really weird that the grounded enemy like this is weak to lightning. All right, cool. Your scowl is more pronounced than usual, dear Joshua. It stinks down here. Well, it is a sewer. What did you expect? That the beatific crystallos would do their damn jobs. It must be close to replacing them. Maybe that's why Balaam came down here for. I highly doubt that the new vocation of a former prophet would be a sewer worker. There's honor in this life. Someone has to treat the drinking water. It is a thankless job. True, it's not like being a judge where people recognize you immediately as their protectors. It's not just the recognition. You have no idea how many men have tried to sell their daughters into marriage with me. Sell? With a handsome dowry. Ah, I see. You've never taken any of them up on their generous offers. Never been tempted. I don't want many to marry women because of a dowry or because of my status as a judge. If I'm going to marry, it'll be for love. You're a hopeless romantic. Hopeful romantic. I hope for love. Maybe that half-Canaanite woman will fall in love with you. No witty retort? No sarcastic jab. You're a heartless man, Joshua. Oh! Come on, enough talk. The fastest we get through this place, the faster I can breathe clean air. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll see you folks later. Thanks for watching.